And those items, the inventory of those items and the related orders for those items have to get transmitted to something. For the visual folks, we're going to say that we're transmitting that via the SP API from Amazon to Parsimony. Now, by the way, the SP API is a replacement for MWS. So for many years, you heard the terminology, hey, you got to get your MWS connected. And what Amazon has done is they've evolved to, I would say, better reporting. There's still some crazy limitations with it. And, Amazon's giant and they have their reasons, many of them legitimate, but not necessarily making them less frustrating to deal with. But the SP API is the new standard and MWS is gone. The good news is SP API is much more systemic. It's much more consistent globally. And so once you have all the hooks in there for SP API, that means you're kind of prepared to look at across geographies. And any new Amazon marketplace, Amazon Belgium just came online, SP API will still work for that. And so that the systemization that Amazon did, we salute them for that. They really did think about this and say, how do we kind of condense the nonsense? And they've gotten it better. So these hooks from Amazon via API are going into Parsimony. Some people, again, use other methods to get it into QuickBooks or Xero or what have you. There's nothing else needed. Parsimony has this native code built in. So it's bringing in the items themselves because you got to know what you're selling. It brings in the inventory for every Amazon location, and then it brings in the individual orders. And I'm a big believer in individual transactions. I do not want bulk order reporting and go, oh, on this day or this week or this 2-week period, we sold 50 orders and it totaled this much money. Good luck to you and congratulations. No, I want to know every detail. So at the point we get that information from Amazon, we break that into sales orders. These are orders that are written, and then sales invoices. These are orders that are delivered. And there's a difference there, right? As you guys may know, sometimes orders are written in Amazon, but don't actually end up getting delivered. Orders are canceled before they ship and so on and so forth. So having a process method to understand what a sales order is and how does that differ from a sales invoice. And from a tax perspective, in most countries, a sales order is written. That's the point you say, I expect to get this revenue. And the invoice is actually when you record the receiving of that revenue. And that's the time frame that the revenue is recognized. And just to drive this point home, if you ordered on Halloween, that's October 31st, your sales order might have been written for that October 31st, but it shipped 2 days later. And so the invoice came in on November 2nd. That actually recognizes the revenue in a later time period than it was originally written. Why is this important? Well, it's important because of accuracy, but this is what the finance people and GAAP accounting and all of these, GAAP, by the way, stands for Generally Accepted Accounting Procedures. And it's kind of a global standard. And trying to get kind of a GAAP analysis of your process is part of my objective to share with you. I want you guys to be very thoughtful and process driven so that you have a predictable outcome. As always, the objective of any system is to have the same data coming in over periods of time, the same types of data. I'm not saying the exact same, invoices, but the same data stream and a predictable result coming out on the output side. That's when you know a system is working.